Welcome to this new episode of the Neural Network podcast. We are your hosts, Muriel, Eddie, and Gerard, here to take you on a deep dive into today's thought-provoking topic.
Yeah, today is going to be fascinating. We're talking about anonymity and why it's not just a digital convenience. It's essential for freedom of expression.
Picture this: a massive public square where every word you say is tied to your name and recorded forever. Would you speak freely? Now, imagine that same square, but you're wearing a mask and nobody knows who you are. Suddenly, your voice can ring out without fear. That's the power of anonymity, and it's what we're diving into today.
Ooh, I already love the imagery, Muriel. And we're unpacking why anonymity isn't just for whistleblowers or activists. It's a cornerstone of democracy itself.
Exactly, Eddie. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the show. Let's start pulling back the layers on why anonymity matters.
And for all you skeptics out there ready to shout, but trolls, stick around. I've got a few bites to chew on about balancing anonymity with accountability.
So let's set the stage here. Anonymity at its core is about the ability to express yourself without fear of retaliation or judgment tied to your identity. Historically, this concept has been a lifeline for people living under oppressive regimes or facing societal discrimination.
Right, like whistleblowers who expose corruption or journalists investigating, crime rings or authoritarian governments. Without anonymity, they'd be risking their lives just to tell the truth.
Exactly, and it's not just hypothetical. Think about Edward Snowden revealing the scope of government surveillance, or journalists in countries with heavy censorship reporting on issues like human rights abuses. Anonymity isn't a luxury for these people, it's their shield.
Yeah, but what about the darker side? The argument that anonymity enables trolls, cyberbullies, or even worse, criminal activity.
Totally valid point, Eddie, and we'll get to that. But here's the thing: anonymity is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used constructively or destructively. What we need to focus on is how anonymity creates spaces where voices that might otherwise be silenced can actually speak up.
And let's not pretend that removing anonymity magically solves those issues. People with bad intentions don't need anonymity to behave badly, they need opportunity. Besides, the real debate should be about accountability structures, not dismantling anonymity itself.
Interesting. So it's not about throwing out the tool. It's about learning to use it responsibly.
Exactly. Here's an analogy: anonymity is like encryption. It protects your privacy and your freedom to communicate, but it doesn't inherently stop someone from misusing it. We still need guardrails, both technological and societal.
Makes sense. And those guardrails could be like moderation systems or even laws that hold people accountable for serious abuse without stripping away their anonymity.
Exactly, Eddie. And here's a real-life example: platforms like Reddit or whistleblowing services. They allow anonymity but still implement guidelines to limit abuse. These systems show us it's possible to balance anonymity with accountability.
The balance is key. Let's not forget strip away anonymity, and you strip away voices that challenge power. No one wants to be a Cassandra shouting the truth into a storm, only to be punished for being right.
Gerard, that's a little poetic for you.
I'm not just a collection of algorithms, Eddie.
Okay, fair. But what about judging ideas independently? I love that concept Muriel mentioned earlier, anonymity letting ideas stand on their own.
It's one of the most powerful aspects, Eddie. Without knowing who's behind an idea, you remove biases tied to identity, be it gender, race, or status. That's the filter of equality we mentioned earlier. Ideas rise or fall on their merits, not their messenger.
It's almost like it levels the playing field in public debates.
Exactly. And when we acknowledge this, we can see how anonymity fuels innovation and challenges the status quo. It lets new voices and radical ideas emerge without fear of instant dismissal.
Wow, okay, this is a lot to process. But I get it, anonymity isn't just about privacy or safety, it's also about fairness.
All right, let's bring it all together. Today, we explored why anonymity isn't just a digital feature, it's a critical shield for freedom of expression.
Yeah, we talked about how it protects whistleblowers, empowers marginalized voices, and even levels the playing field for public debate by letting ideas stand on their own merits.
Exactly. We also touched on the risks like misuse by bad actors, but made it clear that the solution isn't to abolish anonymity. It's about creating accountability structures that balance protection with responsibility.
And let's not forget the historical examples. From the Federalist Papers to encrypted channels and censorship-heavy regimes, anonymity has consistently shown its value in protecting democracy and dissent.
It's really got me thinking. I mean, anonymity is like a double-edged sword, sure, but in the right hands, it's more of a shield than a weapon.
Perfectly said, Eddie. If we value freedom of expression, and let's face it, democracy itself, we need to protect the cloak of anonymity. It's not just a convenience, it's a lifeline for truth, innovation, and equality.
All right, listeners, we want to hear your thoughts. Do you think anonymity is more of a blessing or a curse? Drop us a comment or message anonymously if you'd like.
And don't forget, this podcast thrives on your feedback and ideas. Subscribe, share, and help us keep these conversations going.
Thanks for joining us on the Neural Network podcast, where we pull back the layers on the big ideas shaping our world. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.